Facing the final months of my marriage, I'm desperate to find a way to fix it before it falls apart. But every effort seems to drive us further apart, and I'm unsure if there's any hope left. I, 30M, and my wife, 30F, have been in a wonderful relationship for the past 11 years. We are college sweethearts and have been through so much together, from living in multiple cities, to eloping and dealing with our pissed-off friends and families together, to seeing each other through the death of loved ones, to getting our first and second cats together. We lived our second childhoods together, as we like to call it, and have had the most loving relationship I could ever ask for. Well, earlier this year, that all came crashing down for me. This year, my wife came out to me as polyamorous, and told me that it was just something she was learning about herself. I felt taken aback by it, and felt all sorts of insecurities. Am I not enough? Is this relationship a joke to you? Why do you need to sleep with other people? Of course, I didn't say any of these things to her, but instead tried to remain calm and discuss the topic with her. She told me that it wasn't something she necessarily had the energy to pursue, but that it was a side of her she was interested in exploring eventually. That gave me some relief because at least I felt like I had time to process everything with her and learn more about polyamory, and maybe challenge myself to see if I just learned more, then it would be okay. After she told me, we were talking about polyamory and what that might look like for us every now and then on date nights. I was always uncomfortable talking about it, because in truth, I just want her. I don't want to think about other partners every time I think about her. I want her, and only her. Why can't I be enough? If she is truly polyamorous and wants other people in her, doesn't that imply that I was never enough? Anyways, I entertained the idea because, well, she has always been bisexual, and there was always a part of me that felt guilty for trapping her in a heterosexual relationship. See, I was her first and only, and sometimes I wonder if part of her feels like her queerness never really got to be expressed because of that. So maybe this could work. And hey, it's not like it's realistic to expect that either of us would ever feel attraction of any kind to someone else. It's just about whether it's acted on or not. The months pass, and we both learn more about polyamory and what that can look like. We like the idea of a mono-poly-hierarchical relationship, and I stupidly think, yeah, our love is so strong, I'll definitely learn to want this. I'll be the primary partner and I'll always come first. I believe her when she says that, because she's only ever been 100% there for me through thick and thin. But inside, I'm worried, because if she finds another, won't she stop being there for me 100%? I tell her my fears and she comforts me, telling me that I am the love of her life and that she's not going anywhere. But then again, if she wants to see other people, isn't she going somewhere? I love her so much and want to believe her, but I'm dying inside whenever consensual non-monogamy or polyamory is brought up. I start reading all the propaganda out there by people in polyamorous relationships. Oh, it's so ethical. Monogamists don't even know how to communicate. Most one-one marriages fail because we're not evolved for that. We have so much love to give. I start telling myself all those sweet nothings and denying myself the right to want monogamy. And the thing is, I believe my wife when she tells me that she would prioritize me. The problem is I don't want that. I don't want someone to just come by and take her away from me ever. I don't want some dude to call themselves her partner because I want to be the only one. I have given her all of myself, and she's always given all of herself to me. And I'm here making myself feel selfish for not wanting to share. Femel. Well, this all came to a head one day when she finally came to me with what I didn't want to hear. She developed feelings for someone else and wanted to tell me about it for transparency. She's always been honest and transparent with me, but man, did this one hit me like a truck. She assured me that she hasn't acted on it. That person doesn't know, and she doesn't have to take it any further than I am comfortable. But I get a panic attack and start having visions of her leaving me. We talk a lot, and she spends a lot of time comforting me, and we agree to see a poly-friendly therapist who can guide us through what we're going through. We go see the therapist and she points out that we have a wonderful relationship, but our communication had broken down. My wife had agreed that we wouldn't do anything with polyamory this year. And while she hasn't acted on anything, telling me was basically asking me to move things forward. I eventually break down and confess that I don't want any of this, and that I hadn't been allowing myself to be okay with wanting the beautiful relationship we already have. It's a tough conversation that the therapist guides us through, and eventually we decide to put a formal pause to polyamory talks. My life had been suffering because of a lot of losses simultaneously. My best friend decided to stop being friends with me because she was jealous of my wife. My workplace laid off my best friends and left only me behind, and my grandmother died. I haven't been sleeping well and I've been gaining weight. I just need my life to be stable for a little bit. We all eventually agree that it's best that we take a few months to work our communication and to help me move on from a lot of the loss I have been experiencing. She promises that we can go as slow as we need to and that I can have more time if I want. She won't act on any feelings and promises to treat the topic as delicately and sparsely as she can. But she also admits that being poly is something she needs, and she has so much love to give. We'll be monogamous for a few more months while I get my shay. Together, I guess. The thing is, she has been so wonderful to me, and we have had such a beautiful life together. I don't want anyone else but her, and I want her all to myself. I can have her for a few more months, and I'm afraid that when those months pass, and it's time to revisit this conversation, I'll be changed and learn to be okay with this. I'll be okay and watch the world we built together slowly fade, watch her walk away from me as I stop being the only one in her life. The thing is, I already stopped being that to her the moment she figured she was poly. My relationship with her, as I know it, has already ended, and I'm staring down our final months as a monogamous couple. I'm trying to hold myself together and be a better husband and partner anyway. If I'm going to be let down in the end, I might as well have the best last months with her, as I know it. This could all work out, or it couldn't. Either way, my marriage as I knew it is essentially over. There's something else there now in its place. I never wanted this, but it's what I get. Part of me prays that if I ever entertain this poly shay T a few months from now, that she starts dating and realizes that dating sucks and never mind I'm not poly, just silly. But that's just a fantasy. I got a few months left with her. Then, us as we knew it is done. We'll be something else. Maybe it can be better, but I get this nagging feeling that I'll have to learn to let her go already. She has so much love to give, and one day, I won't be the only one. And maybe, it'll be over. I'm broken. But I know this isn't necessarily the end. Next story. Dropping out of an event after my girlfriend invited her friends without telling me, I felt left out and uncomfortable. Am I the asshole for wanting someone, one time instead? My girlfriend and I enjoy going to regular pub quizzes. There's a pub near us that does weekly themed quizzes, and we go at least twice a month. We enjoy it as it lets us have regular date night during the week. We went out with one of my girlfriend's friends and her boyfriend last week for drinks. We were talking about things we had planned, and my girlfriend mentioned the quiz we were going to. Her friend said it sounded fun, and my girlfriend invited them to join us. The next day she said she was talking to other friends and they're now coming to the quiz. I told her she should have at least discussed it with me before changing our plans from a date night into a night with her friends. She said it's no big deal, but I told her that it's not really going to be as fun for me now when I'm just going to be sat there while she's with her friends. I told her I'm just going to sit this quiz out and we can just go to the next one together. She said I was overreacting, but I told her that I look forward to these date nights, and it's just not the same with a load of other people there. I told her to have fun with her friends, and we'll go to the next one together. She said I was trying to guilt trip her, which is not what was happening. I just didn't feel like going when it wasn't going to. Wasn't ATA for dropping out of an event when my girlfriend invited her friends.